So currently I am on pediatrics. More specifically, I am on the CTU, which stands for the Clinical Teaching Unit. Good morning, it's Sunday. I'm on call until tomorrow, so yay, that's fun. Also, it's really cold today. This is my call room for the night. This is my little toiletry bag that I bring with me on call, so if I have time, I just wash my face off with some soap and then do some very basic like moisturizing spot treatment, and if I have pimples, a little bit of pimple treatment. And then I try and brush my teeth just so I don't feel like super gross. And the hospital's also super dry, so I always have some sort of chapstick or something going on. Good night, I'm heading to bed, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning! Today is Monday. I actually managed to sleep through the night. I did wake up like every hour because I was like, did anybody call me or text me? But no, there was nothing last night. Or there was stuff last night and nobody bothered to call me. Either way, I got to sleep all through the night, which I'm kind of excited about because maybe today I will be a functional human. In about half an hour, the residents and the other med students on today will be showing up. So I'm gonna get up so I can have some breakfast, and then we'll all go round on our patients together. Good morning, so it's 11 o'clock a.m. I'm leaving the hospital now. I'm really proud of myself actually. I think I did a pretty decent job of handing over all of the patients because all weekend it was not all weekend, all of yesterday it was just me, and the day before it was just one med student, so it's kind of a lot and there's a high chance of missing stuff. So I think we did a pretty good job of keeping track of all the important things over the weekend and then handing that off to the team, and then they're looking after everything today. I am going to run some errands. I feel like I deserve a new notebook. I'm gonna buy a new notebook. Hello, so I'm home. This is what I came up with. Ignore the McDonald's. We don't eat McDonald's. That's not healthy for you. So I bought this cute little down jacket. And then 2 shirts for my boyfriend from Lululemon. It's his birthday coming up, so that's part of his gift. And then I bought this candle. Teakwood. I almost said takewood because, you know, I can read. It smells really good. And then, guess what's in here? Chicken nuggets. I used to be extremely guilty and ashamed of myself for occasionally eating McDonald's, and yes, since clerkship started, the occasional has turned into slightly frequent. But you know what? I'm just gonna live my life. You can judge me. You can tell me it's not healthy. I know that this is clogging my arteries. Honestly, I have no regrets. Good morning. Today is Tuesday. Okay, so I'm back home from my day at the hospital. On my list tonight is to do some studying, but I also need to film a presentation because I'm doing a conference presentation, but the conference is on Zoom, so they just want a pre-recording to mitigate the whole Wi-Fi things not loading and glitching issues. So I'm gonna do my hair, put on some makeup so I look nice, and then I'm gonna film that. Okay, hair and makeup done. Let's go film this presentation. Good evening, so I'm on call tonight. I'm kind of all by myself. I had a resident until 10 p.m., which is basically now, but she has an academic half day tomorrow, so they're call protected, so she's heading home. So yeah, I feel kind of lonely now. Hey friends, so the current time is 11:45 and I just got back from the NICU. I had 3 calls that I had to respond to. Basically, the nurses phoned, gave me an update on the patients, and they were like, what should we do? We need some physician's orders in terms of how we're going to manage these patients. One of the residents told me is something that's helpful for your learning is not just to be a transcriptionist or a messenger, but to at least take a stab at what kind of plan you would do and then see if they agree with it. And if they do, that's cool. And if they don't, that's fine, and you learn. Good morning. Today is Monday and I am on call for pediatrics. So I am currently on week 4 out of my 5-week rotation on pediatrics. Initially, I was pretty nervous for this rotation, mostly because I don't have a ton of experience working with children. So I was like, I don't even know how to talk to kids. And then the second thing I was a little hesitant about was just I thought it was going to be a very sad rotation, seeing kids that are super sick, and of course it is sad. So what exactly is pediatrics and what do we do on this rotation? So my 5 weeks consists of CTU. So a typical day on CTU starts around 7 a.m. where the residents and the med students pre-round on all of the patients. So we print out a giant patient list of everyone that is admitted, and then we divide it amongst everyone who's present for the morning rounds, and we go see those patients. So I typically have about 3 or 4 patients that I need to round on, and we have about an hour and a half because the attending physician arrives at 8:30. So the attending is the physician in charge. So what happens when they arrive is we round on all the patients together, and what the med students and residents are responsible for is giving a brief summarized update on the patients. So rounds can take anywhere from 4 hours to a full day, just depending on who the attending physician is and what their style is, as well as how busy it is. So rounds is the basics in terms of what is on your to-do list for the day, but if anything else comes up, it's typically more urgent than rounds. So oftentimes we'll be doing rounds and something else will happen, so we'll get pulled away from rounds and have to deal with this issue, and then we return to rounds. So these other things that we're doing include C-sections, code pinks, and seeing consults. Just got to the hospital. Thought I would be early, but we are just on time. So I somehow managed to drop my ID somewhere in the hospital. I used it to scan in this morning and then got to the lounge and didn't have it. So I'm trying to find it. This is an excellent start to my week. Okay, so I found my ID, which is literally a miracle, and I did not realize you need your ID to get in everywhere. Like, you go into a stairwell, you have to buzz in, you have to buzz out when you get to the floor, you need it to like log into computers, just like everything. So it was a real pain in the butt not having it, but luckily somebody took it to security, so yay, thank you. Yeah, I got to sleep last night. I slept from like 12:30 to 6 a.m, which is amazing to have uninterrupted sleep while on call. Super grateful because that means I will be functional today. So I'm gonna head home and do some studying. So today I sent home a patient that I have been following for the past 2.5 weeks, and it was so bittersweet. They're probably my favorite patient that I've taken care of. The parents were amazing. I was there at the C-section when they were delivered, and now they're going home. It was so bittersweet because part of me was like, oh, I'm so happy you're finally going home, but I'm like genuinely gonna miss seeing them. It was just so wonderful getting to know them, as well as like learning from them, and their baby was so cute. So I'm currently in the process of picking my electives, and I'm making this big giant spreadsheet. I've barely done like any date entries, but I'm just trying to get everything straight in my head. In medical school, we have 4 years. The first 2 years are in the lecture hall. The third year is in clerkship, which is what I'm doing right now. And clerkship is a set like schedule of rotations that everyone goes through, and it's basically all of the main specialties of medicine. And then fourth year is when we get to do electives, and we also apply to CARMS, which is the Canadian Residency Matching Service. And the electives you choose are actually kind of important for your future. So at this point, we should sort of be figuring out what we want to do with our lives and what we want to specialize in. And then we pick electives in the things we want to specialize in, as well as electives that complement that. And then we have to meet certain national requirements. So say I really wanted to do pediatrics, just because I'm on pediatrics right now, I couldn't do like a full year of pediatrics. They don't allow that because I think the idea behind that is it's not a very good backup plan. So say I like signed up for a full year of pediatrics and then last minute realized I actually love obstetrics and gynecology, then it would be really hard to be well-rounded and well-prepared and apply to that specialty. So right now I'm in the process of figuring out the locations and the dates and the times of all the specialties that I want to go into for 4th year, and then I have to sign up for them, and then I get put into this giant computer algorithm with all of the other people in our province, and then they like do a lottery to decide who gets to go where. Other than working on the spreadsheet and trying to make major decisions for my future, I've also been studying and just reviewing lectures. Good morning. Today is Thursday. We just finished rounding. I am heading off to practice my presentation. I have a presentation around 11 this morning that I'm giving to a conference on surgical education. All right, I'm heading home. We just had another successful day on peds. My presentation went well. I was a little more nervous like right before I gave it, but I think it went really smoothly. There was some great feedback, some great discussion. It sounded like it was quite relevant to the conference that I was at. And yeah, it was just a good feeling overall. Also outside, it's kind of raining, kind of snowing. Like, what is that? Okay, so it's 8:30. I really just want to go to bed, but I have to study. I have a block exam. I don't feel like I know things. So I'm just gonna light my candle, sit at my table alone, and force myself to learn things. Good evening. So it's Friday night. This is how I'm living it up in my early 20s. Sleeping on these pillows. Okay, wait, let me just rant about these pillows for a minute. So these pillows are kind of flat as a pancake and floppy and sad. And the inside of them is like this rubbery, just here, have a listen. Yeah, it's like this rubbery situation. So they can be wiped off really easily. But the problem with that is when you rest your face on a plastic pillow, you wake up and the whole side of your face is so sweaty. Good morning. It's 4 a.m. No, it's 5 a.m. At 4 a.m. I got called down for a code pink. Luckily the baby is totally fine. Anyways, everything's all good, so I just dictated the consult note, and now it's 5 a.m. and I'm gonna try and sleep for the next hour and a half. Okay, it is 10 a.m. I'm post-call, so I'm going to head home. So I just found a briefcase in a locker with my name on it. Apparently it is a suture kit from our faculty. So yeah, I'm gonna open it up, see what is going on, because we start surgery in a week. Ooh. Okay, so we've got some fake skin. Ooh. And it's got little suction things so that the patient doesn't move around while you're trying to suture them. It's like needle driver, forceps, scissors. We have a sharps container for our needles. We have some sutures. I assume these are expired. Not expired, that's nice. Ethicon, I don't know if that's how you say it. Knot tying, practicing with some rope. Cool, that's exciting. Alrighty, that brings us to the end of this vlog, which was all about life on pediatrics. I hope you enjoyed it. The next vlog is going to be all about the very last week of my block, as well as studying for my block exam / panicking. And then after that, we are on to surgery. So if you're interested in seeing those videos, maybe consider subscribing. Subtle plug for the channel. And I will see you later.